What's good, YouTube? Long time no see. Today we're going to be profiling my updated Armed Dragon deck for the TCG. It's gone through a lot of changes since the last time. It finally plays the way Konami intended this deck to play, and honestly it's a lot more fun that way. So we're now a full-on blind going second, break boards, OTK type of deck. It's a lot of fun, and we're going to achieve this with rank 7 dragon spam, so let's get to the card by card. Starting things off strong as always, we're playing 3 of the best armed dragon in the entire game. 3 copies of Pile Armed Dragon. This guy is an absolute menace, as you probably already know if you're subscribed to the channel. But this is a level 7 extender that special summons himself by sending a wind dragon or a level 7 or higher dragon from your hand to grave as cost. You can then boost the attack of a monster by targeting it and sending an armed dragon from deck to grave as cost, boosting its attack by the level of the armed dragon times 300, but you can only attack with 1 monster for the rest of the turn. Now you don't really care about all that attack boosting crap. All you care about is that this is a level 7 extender, and that it's going to trigger up to 2 different armed dragon thunder monsters, because when they're sent to grave as cost for the activation of another dragon's effect, they're going to search for a new card. It also gets you a level 7 for free into your grave as cost, so that's going to help you with some monster Reborn plays to get easy access into your level 10s that you can go into. And originally its attack restriction was a problem for the deck going second, but now that we got this new rank 7 and Ghost from the Past 2, it's no longer an issue. The Armed Dragon Thunder engine from Blazing Vortex is the same as always. We play 3 copies of Armed Dragon Thunder level 3, 3 copies of Armed Dragon Thunder level 5, and 3 copies of Armed Dragon Thunder level 7. You want to max out on these because you're going to go through almost all of them in one turn. It also helps boost the consistency of the deck because 3 is a potential starter. These are searchers, and Pile is going to need something to discard, which is important. Basically what these all do, if you haven't played the deck before, when these are sent to the graveyard as cost for a dragon's effect, they'll search for a card. So this one draws you one. It's by far the weakest, but it gets you a little bit of card advantage, so it's, you know, we'll take it. Level 5 and 7 are the better ones. 5 can search for level 5 or higher wind dragons, including ones from outside of the archetype like Tempest, and 7 is going to grab anything within the archetype. Also, while they're on the field, you can send a monster from hand to grave as cost, then they'll send themselves to grave as cost, and you can level up by summoning an armed dragon from your deck. So 3 will go into 5, and 5 doesn't have to go into 7 actually. You can just go directly into Pile, which makes Pile really consistent because you can either level up into him or use level 3 to send one of these guys as cost to search for Pile. To give the engine a bit of a boost, we're playing some cards like Lightning, the Dragon Ruler of Drafts. This is a great addition to the deck since all it wants to do is spam rank 7s. Basically, you're going to discard a wind monster and special summon a Tempest from your deck, and of course we're running the 1 Tempest, which is currently limited. Armed Dragons always ran Tempest because it's just such a good card that synergizes with the deck because of all of its different effects revolving around wind dragons, but it's really good with Lightning because Lightning can discard an Armed Dragon, summon Tempest from the deck, that gets 2 dragons in the grave, and it triggers the search effect of your Armed Dragon Thunder. And then once you XYZ off Tempest and detach it for whatever effect you're going to use, you can then either banish Tempest in the grave with one of your effects, like a certain XYZ card, or you can special summon Tempest by banishing 2 dragons, getting another level 7 body on the board. So these 4 cards just really help with the rank 7 spam. Then we also have 3 copies of Artillery Catapult Turtle. This is pretty simple. You normal summon it, you tribute it to summon a level 5 dragon from your deck, so you're going to summon Armed Dragon Thunder level 5, and that is just 1 discard away from getting you a Pile Armed Dragon. Now this is more vulnerable than level 3 being on the field and just using its effect, because it can use its effect as cost, so you can send Armed Dragons before you get negated. But the benefit is you're tributing itself for cost, so there is a certain bait that you're going to be able to do with the card. And the level 10 of choice is going to be the original one. I know I don't usually run this in most decks, but that's because there was never a purpose for it until now. Now we know we're able to OTK very, very easily. We don't have to worry about going to a turn 3. So there's no point of Thunder level 10, and because of level 10's, or I'm sorry, Pile Armed Dragon's attack restriction, you don't really want to run level 10 white because that conflicts with it, even if it is a good going second card. So the obvious choice is just 1 copy of the original level 10. All you have to do to get into this guy is tribute Armed Dragon level 7, which Thunder level 7 changes his name to the original one. And you can do that so easily. You just send 7 to grave as cost with 3 or Pile, and then you can just search the level 10 with that effect and then bring back the 7 from grave with one of your, you know, Monster Reborn type of cards, which we run 4 of in this deck. So there's a good chance that's going to happen. Then you can just easily get him on the field. Or you can go Catapult Turtle, discard 1 card, and you already set up a level 10 as long as you were able to search him. So all he's going to do is discard a card to wipe your opponent's monsters. So you really want to go into him once you've baited out all the back row, or there was no back row to begin with. He's just an excellent board breaker, and we also have ways to protect him as well. So it's such a hard card to respond to sometimes, especially since his effect isn't once per turn. But yeah, this is the only level 10 we're running. It's the only one needed in the main deck. I'm not running a lot of hand traps in this deck. I really prefer board breakers, especially in going second decks like this. So I'm only running what I feel like is the best for the format, and that's going to be 3 copies of Ash Blossom and the PSY-Framegear Gamma package. So 3 PSY-Framegear Gamma and the 1 PSY-Framegear Driver. The reason I'm running these is mainly to counter branded, and they're always live against every single deck in game 1, and I think that's really important in your main deck, is to have cards that are live always in game 1, even if they're not the most impactful. But yeah, this is going to negate the branded fusion even when branded losses on the field. This is going to negate and destroy like the Lubellions and stuff that try to dodge targeting negation with Despia Comedy. So these just feel like the most impactful cards. I also love that PSY-Framegear Gamma is live even if you top deck the card, because if you top deck the card and you activate something in hand, your opponent negates it, you're going to be able to negate their negate and summon a level 8 synchro essentially on the field, and that's going to be very, very impactful. This might be another surprise for you, but the only Armed Dragon spell that I'm running is Armed Dragon Blitz. I tried Flash, and I was just very underwhelmed about like how much card advantage you lose when you use Flash, and also how easy it was to interrupt. So instead I went with Lightning. That was kind of the replacement for Flash. And Armed Dragon Lightning wasn't that great. I just felt like it could have been a hand trap, it could have been a Lightning Storm, it could have been literally any other card. I would have rather drawn that than Armed Dragon Lightning, and anytime I would use 7 to search for an Armed Dragon spell, I was always searching for Blitz rather than Lightning. So to make the deck more consistent, I just ended up cutting the Lightning in general. But Blitz is just going to target Pile Armed Dragon, get a second Pile Armed Dragon on the field, makes Pile Armed Dragon a 1-card OTK. It's a free rank 7. So this is pretty much the only Armed Dragon spell we have that we can play at the moment. So hopefully Konami prints us like a Reinforcement of the Army card, or maybe even a quick play spell. I would really like that, but for now, this is the only spell we got. Then we have 4 Monster Reborns. So we have 3 Return of the Dragon Lords and then 1 of the actual Monster Reborn. So this is going to bring back your level 7 dragons from the graveyard, and then when dragons on your field would get destroyed, you could just banish this card instead. So what I like to do is send 7 as cost, search for the original level 10, bring back level 7. Now my dragons are indestructible for 1 pop, and then I contribute it for level 10 and start nuking the opponent's field, or it's just a free level 7 on the field, honestly, for your rank 7 plays. Monster Reborn is more versatile because you can bring back any monster or your opponent's monster, but you don't have that protection with it. Still, it's worth a slot in the deck. But yeah, just these extenders are really, really cracked in this deck, and it really just helps it achieve its win condition. To boost the consistency of the deck, we got 3 copies of Pot of Extravagance. I love Extrav in this deck because, unlike Prosperity, you don't have to cut off an arm and a leg to make it work, because in this version of the deck, we don't care about banishing our extra deck. We play 3 copies of the 3 important cards. And on top of that, our damage isn't getting halved. And on top of that, if it gets negated, we still get to draw with level 3. And on top of that, we aren't going -1 because it's just like getting the draw with level 3 a little bit earlier. That's what it feels like if it resolves. Where Prosperity, you only trade 1 for 1, then you can't draw with level 3, so you just get a direct -1. So this is honestly one of the main reasons why I feel like this deck is so much more fun to play than the Master Duel version, just because like I'm not constantly losing card advantage. I've got some really spicy board breakers for you guys. I got 3 copies of Lightning Storm, obviously just a solid board breaker in Modern Yu-Gi-Oh! And 1 card that is really, really funny and is actually surprisingly really good is 3 copies of Raigeki. I can't believe they unlimited this card. Now, I know Raigeki is a meme for the most part, but think about it. We're a going second deck. We're OTKing all the time. I don't care what you add back to your hand when I destroy your monster. I don't care what you special summon when I destroy your monster. I don't care that you're gonna nuke my field with Mirror Jade when I destroy it. I just don't care because you're dead, bro. I'm going to kill you. So that's why 3 Raigeki is so great. Drawing this plus a hand trap pretty much guarantees that you're gonna win the duel, or drawing this plus another Raigeki because it's not once per turn. The card was printed in the very first set of Yu-Gi-Oh, right? So this card is just very underrated, very slept on, but I would only play it in a deck like this. I wouldn't just randomly throw it into every deck I play. It's definitely a bit of a meme card, but it really just worked out and felt like the perfect choice for this deck in particular. If you thought this deck was spicy already, it's about to get even spicier because this extra deck is actually cracked. So we're running 3 of all the most important cards. 3 Dark Arm, the Dragon of Annihilation. This is how you bait out the back row and just pop whatever you want on the field. Any level 7 monsters can make this, and you can have more than just 2 materials if you want it to. Basically, it's going to detach a card, banish a card in the grave, and then target something and pop it. You can do that multiple times, and that's the benefit of overlaying it with more than 2 monsters. And then you're going to go into your OTK after clearing out the back row with Odd Eyes Rebellion Dragon Overlord. Now, Odd Eyes Rebellion Dragon Overlord is the new card from Ghost from the Past 2 that I was talking about. All this card does is attack 3 times. It does have another effect in the Pendulum Zone, but it's really irrelevant, and it'll never come up, so I'm not gonna, just tell you about that. You can read it on your own. But yeah, you just want to attack 3 times with this guy. That's your OTK, and you can get that with just the 3000 attack if you clear the board, or you can boost him with Pile Arm Dragon, which is super easy to do. Then you got the Odd Eyes Rebellion Dragon itself. This card you need because the way you summon him is by overlaying into him first. Then you do like a little Dingirsu thing where you overlay this on top of the original Odd Eyes. So you want to make sure you run 3 of all of these because these are your most important cards. You also want to run 3 copies of Hieratic Seals, just because if you do happen to go into a turn 3 or you're forced to go first, this is like a really solid interruption that's easy to make. I also run 2 Voloferniges just in case it ever comes up. I honestly have never summoned him yet, but he's a quick effect pop, which I feel like could be relevant if we do have to go into a turn 3 or if I am forced to go turn 1, but I have better options for that, honestly. I just thought I might as well have him because I have the room. And then 1 Scarlight Red Dragon Archfiend in case I resolve Gamma during my own turn. I don't have a full side deck for you guys because I'm indecisive as hell. However, there are 5 cards that you definitely need to have in your side deck no matter what format or event you're going to. And that's going to be Arm Dragon Thunder level 10. This card is just great for going first, and the deck has absolutely no going first plays, and to give them some protection and to give your Arm Dragons a little bit of recursion, I have the Arm Dragon Lightning. So just side these 2 if you're going first. Also side in Heat Wave if you're going first. I play 3 copies of it. It basically skips your opponent's turn because you activate it at the start of the main phase and neither player can normal or special summon. So what's going to happen is you're going to activate it, you're going to pass, your opponent's going to set 1, they're going to pass, and then you just kill them the next turn. So it's honestly better than going second, but obviously I'm not going to base my deck around it, even if it's better, just because it is unsearchable. But these are 5 cards that I think you really should have in your side deck. Just to give you an idea of how the deck plays, I'm going to show you a randomized test hand real quick. The deck is shuffled. Let's see what our test hand is. So obviously we're going to go second, so I'll do the 6th draw as well. So we're going to have Pot of Extravagance, great start. Arm Dragon Thunder level 5, Pile Arm Dragon, Pile Arm Dragon again, that's weird. Monster Reborn, this is a fantastic hand already. And then we're going to draw for turn, which is going to be a PSY-Framegear Gamma. So let's go ahead and do this test hand. So I'm gonna Pot of Extravagance here, obviously right at the start. Oh, it's down here. I'm gonna activate Pot of Extravagance. We're gonna banish 6 random cards from the extra deck. So let's just go ahead and randomize it a little bit because I kind of had it organized for the video. And then we'll do 3 off the top and then 3 off the bottom. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then we'll draw the 2 cards. So we will get a level 3 and a Lightning Storm. The important thing here is if this gets negated, we do have the PSY-Framegear Gamma to negate the negate, get a Scarlight, Red Dragon, Archfiend on the field as well. And then we're going to get the Lightning Storm and the Armed Dragon level 3. This is again why I just prefer board breakers over most hand traps, because I just drew into this Lightning where I could have drew into like an Ash Blossom or something, which would have been kind of bad. So we're going to activate the Lightning Storm, clear out the back row. And then from here, we have all the extenders in the world to play with. So we're going to activate Pile Armed Dragon's effect, sending 5 as cost to summon Pile Armed Dragon. 5 is then going to activate to special or search for a level 5 or higher Wind Dragon. So I'm going to search for Tempest, the Dragon Ruler of Storms. I'm then going to activate Pile's second effect, sending 7 from deck to grave, targeting itself as cost. This is all as cost actually. So let's go ahead and send 7. 7's going to trigger its effect, and Pile is going to get its attack boosted a little bit. And 7 is going to search for the Armed Dragon Blitz and add it to our hands. Now I can activate Armed Dragon Blitz, targeting the Pile Armed Dragon on the field, and we can special summon another Pile Armed Dragon from our deck. So let's go ahead and do that. Then we can Xyz into a Dark Armed Dragon of Annihilation. From here we can activate Dark Arm's effect to detach and then banish a card in our grave, pop 1 card, and then we can do it again, detach, banish a card from grave, and we can just banish these spells that have no use in the grave too, which is really nice. And so we got to pop 2 cards with this. We blew up the board with Lightning Storm, and then we can follow up after that. We can activate Tempest to banish 2 dragons from our grave. So let's banish the 5 and banish a Pile Armed Dragon to special summon him from our hands. And then we can activate Monster Reborn, which could have also been a Return of the Dragon Lords, and we're going to bring back a Pile Armed Dragon. Then we can overlay into the Odd Eyes Rebellion Dragon, and then Odd Eyes Rebellion Dragon Overlord on top of him. And then from here, we can attack 3 times with the Odd Eyes Rebellion Dragon Overlord. Worst case scenario, if somehow we missed lethal, which is very, very unlikely, we can go into our Hieratic Seals for the next turn, and we have an Armed Dragon level 3 and a Pile Armed Dragon for the follow-up too. And that is basically how the deck is going to be played moving forward. Let me know what you guys think of this build in the comments down below, and make sure to leave a like and subscribe. It helps the channel out a lot. That's going to be all for today. See you guys later. Peace.